Hi guys, and welcome back once again to Same Ship, Different Day. So I left you at the end of the last vlog, the night before travelling. I looked very much like this because it's just about 5 minutes later for me, but for you it's probably a week or so later. So I'm about to head off to join my next ship, which I told you in my last video is going to be a P&O Australia ship. I didn't tell you which one, and the one it's going to be is the Pacific Explorer, which is kind of where all of this journey started for me. Back when I was on board the Explorer, I had Danny Black come on board, and we talked about starting up this channel, and that's kind of where it went from. It supported me throughout. Anyway, I won't be heading back to Australia, unfortunately. She is currently at anchor just off the coast of Singapore, so that's where I'm heading. Quite a journey to get there though, so let's do the intro and I'll tell you all about it. Okay, so before I begin, as always, let me just mention that my views and opinions don't reflect those of Princess Cruises or P&O Australia or any of the brands within the Carnival Corporation or the corporation itself. This is just me making videos to keep some people entertained, including myself. So yeah, hell of a journey to go through. So tomorrow morning I'm going to be leaving home, which is here, at about 5:30 a.m. To head down to Birmingham Airport, which is the best airport for us to fly out of right now, considering there's supposedly supposed to be strikes at Heathrow, which is a great curveball to throw at us. So Birmingham Airport, from there I'll be going to be flying to Paris. From Paris I'll be flying to Rome. From Rome we'll be getting a charter flight, only Carnival Corporation branded crew. I think it's going to be about 300 of us going, so it's a big cross-brand decision and effort to get these crew joining and the other crew repatriated, because we're still having issues even 8 months on from when I was last at sea. 8.5 months since I was last at sea. Crazy world at the moment. So when I get on the charter flight in Rome, that's going to take us to Colombo, Sri Lanka. And in Sri Lanka, I'm going to be joining the new Pacific Encounter, which just so happens to be the one ship that's been nominated across brands to ferry us to the other ships. So Pacific Encounter, if you don't already know, is the former Star Princess, which was actually my first ever ship, which I joined, I think it's 8 years ago, pretty much this month, that I joined my first ever ship. So it's quite nice to be going back on board and seeing what it's all about. I don't believe she's been into dry dock yet to convert fully to the all-new Pacific Encounter like many of the P&O Australia fans might be expecting, but I'll have a look at what has been done. I do expect to be spending the entire time in my cabin because of the quarantine process, but I'll tell you more about that once I'm on board and got more videos out to you. So this is probably going to be a long video as it is, so let me stop talking and we'll start on the journey. You'll probably next see me tomorrow at some point on the way. Good morning, I've just arrived at the very wet and windy Birmingham Airport, so I didn't get any footage outside. About 2 hour drive down, not too bad at all. And now we're just going to be waiting when the check-in opens. I'm quite early, so once the check-in's open I'll head through and board on the first plane. So all checked in through security, just waiting at the airport. Well, lounge I guess you'd call it, but nothing's open. Managed to get myself a coffee though, which isn't too bad, and met a new sea coach to the company, new hire. Seems like a good guy, so normally we'd sit and have a beer, but unfortunately it's going to be Costa coffee today, and wait for the flight. And then once we're on, straight over to Paris, and only a 1 hour wait in Paris, so whether or not I'll get any footage I don't know, but I'll try and keep you updated as best I can. See you shortly. So update, a few hours later, the flight is delayed from Birmingham to Paris, which is likely that we're going to miss our connection Paris to Rome. There's about 50 crew members here right now waiting for this flight, and could all ruin our contract, so it could end up not going to work, which is an absolute disaster. And there's nobody here to even speak to from Air France, which is a brilliant representation for the company. Anyway, I'll keep you updated as we go further on. So it's now got to the point where the plane has arrived, but we're not sure whether or not we're going to take our bags off, because we don't know if we can make the charter unless they delay the charter from Rome. In which case we'll be travelling from Birmingham to Paris, Paris to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Rome, in order to get the charter flight on time. Well, delayed, but in order to make it. So it's all fun and games, and we'll stood here waiting to see what's going on. Okay, we're going to Paris, and then we're going to see what happens afterwards. This is Johnny Rose, we went to college together. Little update for you. We've just arrived in Paris. We're now checked in on our next flight without our bags, unlike we were expecting them to be there waiting for us, and they weren't, unfortunately. Anyway, we're hoping they're going to go ahead of us and meet us in Amsterdam or Rome, and then maybe we won't even see them again, who knows. But in the meantime, we've got to get another test done, antigen test, that's got to be done 4 hours before departure, and then we leave in an hour and a half, so let's see if we can make it. So, got the test, negative, thank goodness. Now I just got through security. We're going to rush to the gate to hopefully get on just in time for the flight to Amsterdam, and then do it all over again once we get there, and then do it all over again once we get to Rome. So sort of halfway, maybe not. Well, it's fun anyway. Made it to the boarding gate, so here we go for flight 2 of 4. Thank you very much. And we are in Amsterdam. 1 hour layover until our flight to Rome. We've filled in the paperwork. Lights are going off, everything's closed down, and in 25 minutes we should be underway again, heading to Rome, like I said, and then from there Sri Lanka, hopefully. If all goes to plan, we're going to have 50 minutes in Rome to get from our commercial KLM flight to the charter flight, so that should be interesting. And hopefully our bags will make it across. We think they're with us so far, but I'll be very impressed if they got from Birmingham to Sri Lanka without me touching them again. So see how it goes. So we made it to Rome. Finally, 350 crew are now going to jump on this charter flight down to Sri Lanka. And luckily our bags made it. Excellent news. This is going to be a long day. So, one of the last ones to board the charter flight. We've been waiting for the baggage confirmation. Luckily there are photos of mine, so it should be on. But for the other lads, not all of them got their bags, unfortunately. So it's going to be something that needs to be sorted. In the meantime, we've got to get a bus. Last one on. Big old charter plane. Suitcases actually made it. I'm very delighted about that. Time to go to the bus. So that charter was 8.5 hours, so we're now looking at another 3-hour bus journey to get to the ship. And then when we get there, everybody's got to board and take PCR tests, so it's going to be fun. We finally made it to the Pacific encounter. Ended up being about 6 hours on the bus journey rather than the 4 that we expected. Let's hope we can get on board and get a test done ASAP. No. So that's it, I'm on board the Pacific Encounter. I'm in my cabin, which is a balcony cabin, quite nice. That'll do quite nicely for 7 days, 8 days, however long it takes us to get over to Singapore for the next stage of the journey. I've been on the road 36 hours, it's almost midnight here, local time. So I think I'll probably get back to you tomorrow and summarise the whole journey. As you can imagine, I'm pretty tired. I might go grab a bit of food upstairs, because all I seem to have eaten for 2 days is sandwiches. So I'll grab some food and grab a shower and get to bed, I think, and I'll see you in the morning. Hello everyone, I'd like to say good morning, but actually it's the afternoon. Surprise, surprise, I slept in a little bit longer than I expected. After that journey, I'm sure you agree it was quite a big one, quite a task to get through, especially with that delay in Birmingham that then caused us to have to go via Amsterdam, which included needing to get an additional test where you had to run to a different terminal in the airport in order to get that test. So yeah, a lot of fun, and I think it goes to show how hard shoreside as well as the crew are working to get out to these ships in order to keep them running, so that hopefully we can again return to cruising. And also I think it's a bit of an insight as to how difficult the international situation is at the moment, and therefore how it is most likely and most practical to stick with domestic cruising as much as possible, I think, in the immediate future. Anyway, we'll see how that develops. Thanks for sticking with me and seeing the entire journey. I think overall it was quite a successful day, 2 days. We did all get to be on board, all the group that was flying from Birmingham, which at one point we really weren't expecting. I think within about 2 minutes it swung from, okay, we're gonna have to go home again, to quick jump on the flight. They've managed to delay the charter, and we'll keep our bags on there and pray, have our fingers crossed. There was one stage when we got to Paris, and we went to collect our luggage, which we were expecting to be there for us in order to transfer it to the KLM flight to Amsterdam, and the luggage wasn't there, and we realised that it had been automatically transferred across. So at that point we were all quite worried that we weren't ever going to see our bags again, but fortunately over half of the bags made it. I don't understand why only half and not all 19 cases made it, but I was one of the lucky ones. Both my cases came through, so I'm quite happy about that, and hopefully that will put me in a good position for continuing now on my journey. We are now en route at sea. We're just south of Sri Lanka, having headed south from Colombo last night, early this morning in fact. So now we're heading over to the Singapore anchorage, where we should be able to disperse to various ships. We are going to be quarantining for the full time, but I'll probably make another vlog and show you the details of how it is on board to be in quarantine and how it's working at the moment, especially with a reduced number of crew members on board and so many crew members in quarantine right now. They're having to do the most practical way to do it whilst everybody is keeping separate. So quite an interesting journey, quite an interesting experience. Certainly some things I haven't experienced before, some things I have, having been on the Coral back when it all kicked off. But now that I'm back on a ship, I can continue to bring you some content about various things. So if you have anything you're interested in, do put it in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you either through a vlog or live stream if possible. I'm not really sure on the quality of internet I'm going to have on these ships now, so I'll be doing my best to get things uploaded quite promptly and edit them. Hopefully I can use the time whilst I'm in quarantine to edit some videos and get them out to you. So thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the channel again, and stick with me, stay safe at home. I'll do my best to stay safe out at sea on board, and I'll keep you updated along the way. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. So well done on sticking with me all the way through to the end of that vlog there, guys. I'm going to leave you with a beautiful view at sea in the Indian Ocean just south of Sri Lanka. A beautiful sea day, and one that I'm sure many of you will be missing. If you want to see more from the channel and haven't already, please do subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and that'll help me out. And I'll see you very shortly.